all have seen how the West has dominated in the case of Web 2, right? Because the composability into Web 3.0 has brought really a great experience to the into the industry, right? Where earlier Web 2 did not had that composability. Even today also, right? So when I'm speaking to you, one of the subdomains got blocked, and now I need to reach out to Chrome. I don't even know how to reach out to them, and we don't even have a clue. If the more of these products become closer to the native audiences, which is like local audiences, then solving such business issues become much more faster. What do you think that shift is going to make happen into the industry? Is it going to be driven from the West again, or that shift is already started seeing and reflecting into the other market as well, specifically talking about India?
No, I actually have a lot of observations from what we've seen in India in the past 12, 18 months, right? I think one is that, compared to almost every other industry, I think Web3 was already, from a kind of physical office location, already fairly different to the rest of the world, right? People were already kind of working remote and distributed or decentralized, as teams. I think COVID definitely accelerated that. I mean, we have had some projects that came through the accelerator where the founders had never met in person. I mean, they had a lot of Zoom calls, but because of all the travel restrictions, they had never met. I think that's something that's very unique to Web3, right? I think that's one. I think the second one, as you rightly mentioned, there's the element around composability and permissionless, right? So, for example, if you have a great idea that's building on top a DeFi primitive or something like Lens, or I mean, even something from scratch that you're building on any chain, the fact that it's permissionless and composable means that you don't need to go and call, someone at Ethereum or Aave or wherever and say, hey, I want to build something, or give me access to the APIs or something like that, right? You just do it, right? You just sit on your computer and you just do it, right? I think the third one, which is interesting, is the borderless nature of crypto and the Web3 space. Also means that you don't have to be physically in, let's say, the US, for example, to tap US users, or you could say the same for India and China, given they're the two largest countries in the world. You can be anywhere, actually. You could be in South America, Africa, it doesn't matter, but you could actually build something for 8 billion people. In the last 12 to 18 months or so, we've seen a huge wave of developers coming from India, and very high caliber developers. And I think that India is very uniquely positioned in the sense that you have, first of all, amazing technical talent coming from BITS, the IITs, all these amazing engineering colleges in India, right? So very well trained. At the same time, a lot of them also having experiences with big tech, right? So working and building within the big tech space, right? So I think the technical capability is amazing, right? And it's also like a bit of the power of numbers, that there's a lot of great technical talent coming from India. I think that's one. I think the second one is that, in my experience, and I mean, I used to go to India a little bit when I was a consultant, and I haven't been in a while, but my impression from going there and from a lot of Indian colleagues I used to have in Southeast Asia is that people are very hungry, right? They're very hungry to make it and to build great things, right? And I think the third one is that there's also a lot of inspirational homegrown leaders. I think, of course, Polygon is the best example, but there's there's folks like CoinShift, there's quite a few projects there that I think have gained a lot of notoriety among both the existing Web3 community, but also those who aspire to enter the space, right? And I think these three make it a very exciting space. I mean, we actually, despite us always hiring the best talent we consciously hired a couple of colleagues in India because we wanted to make sure we had people there on the ground that can be, close to the builders and, meeting the builders, speaking to them, understanding what they're building, understanding what the needs are, because we see it as a very important place, right? Both in terms of the development and of course, I think if you're an Indian developer, the nice thing is that you have a huge market to tap into before you even decide to, let's say, go outside.